Hello dear kids, this is Neha Sharma once again with you. So today dear students, in this video we are going to discuss topic definite articles. As you know, in previous videos we have started chapter number 4. The name of the chapter is articles and determiners. In the previous videos we have learnt about articles and determiners also and how they are used, right? I also told you that what is the similarity between adjectives and the determiners, right? So this article determiner is the first kind of the determiner, and there we did indefinite articles, and we have two indefinite articles, a and n. So we learned the uses of a and n. Today here we are going to learn uses of the, that is definite article. So let's understand rule number first. Dear kids, I want to speak here that please make short notes of these rules so that you can learn this easily for your examination, and this is very important. Okay, so here we will learn that where with which noun we have to put the, right? Generally what happen, we are sometimes wrongly insert or where it is not necessary. So here you have to listen and understand that what is the use of the, where we have to put the with which noun and with which subject. Okay, so first use of the is used with particular nouns. This you know very well. Suppose I gave you a book, right? So here I have used a book, right? With the next means in the next sentence I will say the book was very interesting. So you will notice one thing, that in the first sentence I spoke I gave you a book, right? But in the second sentence I am using the book was very interesting. Same book I am talking about here, and that book has been what? Particular, right? I am talking about that same thing. मैं उसी पर्टिकुलर बुक के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ, तो वो स्पेशल वही वाली बुक हो गई जिसके बारे में जो I gave you, right? So then it is in the second sentence the is being used with that because it has been particular, right? So this is what particular nouns I am talking about here. So the is used with particular nouns, and in the both of the cases that may be countable also, that may be uncountable also. Once again, the countables are which are having both of the forms, singular and plural, and uncountable like information, money, rice, hair, right, which is having only singular form, means singular and plural both are formed used as one. Okay, let's understand with the example. The butterfly which I saw yesterday was blue, right? So there are many butterflies, right? But it may happen that you may speak I saw a butterfly. When you will speak a sentence, I saw a butterfly yesterday, right? And the butterfly which I saw yesterday was of blue color. So it is what? It has been particular that the butterfly which I saw yesterday, that was of blue color. Otherwise I used to see many butterflies, right? But I am talking about that special one which I saw yesterday. Clear? So that is why I am using here what? I am using here the. Clear? So this is the first rule of the. So this you have to notice. So in this first sentence, where is the? That before the butterfly, where we are talking about particular noun. Clear? Second is this oil I purchased last week is very good. So here I have taken one uncountable noun. Here this butterfly was what? That is countable noun. Now I am talking about the oil which I purchased yesterday or the last week, that is very good for my hair, right? So this is there are many varieties of oil actually, right? But here I am talking about that particular oil which I purchased last week. So here the oil. So this is what? This is article. Which article is this? Definite. So the oil I purchased last week is very good. So that's why I am using here, because This is also the particular one. Otherwise, there are many varieties of oil, but still oil is oil. It is not oils. Okay. Next, rule number 2 is the is used before an adjective when it represents the class. So I am not talking about class 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It is not like this. It is about the class of the people, like the poor, the intelligent, right, the rich, something like that, the lucky, something like that. Okay. So I am talking about a particular class of the people here. I am talking about a particular class of the nouns. So examples you have to learn, that is the rich, the poor, the lucky, all the fat, right, all the thin people. So all I am talking about that, all the sick people, it may be anything, clear, all the tall people, all the short people, it may be anything, but I will talk about the class here, right. So all the उसमें लगाने की ज़रूरत हमें नहीं है. When I am speaking the poor, so I am talking about all the poor I am talking about that particular poor class. When I am talking about the rich, so it means all the rich who are there, all the rich people are in that category, right. So examples are the rich, the poor, the lucky. You may take any class, okay, which is representing any class. And the example is the rich should help the poor. So here rich is what? A class, and before that I have used what? The. Here poor is a class, and before that I have used the. So this is one of the example when I am talking about a noun which is representing a class. So dear students, please take the screenshot of these 2 rules where we have learnt about the uses of the, which is a definite article, and please note down somewhere in your notebook. Next is third one. The is used before a common noun to represent a whole class. Now I am talking about a common noun. What is this common noun? Common nouns are the things which we use in our daily life. It may be a relation, it may be some things, it may be pen, it may be pencil, whatever you can see here, all the things are what? Are common noun, means our daily life things, like your teacher is common noun, chalk common noun, green board common noun, right, whatever. I think you are having pencil in your hand, so that pencil is what? Common noun. You are sitting on table, chair, sofa somewhere, so that is what? That is common noun. Whatever the things you are looking right now in your room, all are common nouns, clear. And your relation, mother, father, that is also common noun. But if I will talk about me, Neha Sharma, so this is what? Proper noun. But if you are talking about a teacher, that is a common noun, right. So here I am talking about a common noun where it represents a whole class. Sometimes we say the tiger is a ferocious animal, right, and the elephant is the biggest animal, biggest land animal. So it is something like that. I am talking about common noun like the tiger and the elephant and those both of them are what? Common nouns, and they are representing where. Here I am talking about, suppose I have taken one rose and I will see the rose is a beautiful flower. So what is that? I am talking about all the categories of the rose. How many varieties are there in the world, that doesn't matter, but I am talking about the class of rose, right, the whole class. So that we have to take here when the common noun is used as a whole class. The tiger is a ferocious animal, right. I am not talking about one tiger only, I am talking about all the tigers. So I have taken the whole class of the tiger here. So here the is being used. Fox is a cunning animal, right. You have read many stories, you have heard many stories about that fox is a cunning animal. So here also this fox is what? Common noun, but we are talking about all the fox. It was not only that fox which took the piece of meat from the crow. I am not talking about only that. I am talking about all the foxes, okay. So that is what I am representing here, the class, the whole class. So this is what the is being used here, clear. Next, rule number 4 is used before an adjective when it shows a quality. We are doing uses of the. So the is used before an adjective when it shows a quality, clear. Let's understand. The beauty of the flower is amazing. Now what is the quality? What is the quality of the flower? That it is beautiful, right. All the flowers, whether they are weeds, where they are rose, whatever it is, the flowers are beautiful, Clear? Now I am talking about beauty of the flower. The beauty of the flower. So beauty is what here? Adjective. Clear? It is actually noun, but it is telling the quality actually. So what I am using here? The before that. Clear? Next is before superlative degrees. Before superlative degrees. I have told you earlier too in chapter number 3 where we did uses adjectives and the degree of adjectives, that with the superlative degrees we have to use the best, the tallest, the smallest, the thinnest, the most intelligent, something like that. So the is used before the superlative degree. It is the most beautiful flower. Like most beautiful is what? That is superlative degree. And what I am using with that? The I am using here. Next is Ram is the tallest boy here. So here I am talking about what is superlative degree? That is tallest. And before that what is the? So that we have to use, that we learned that how we have used the here. Next rule is before a noun to show a unit of measure. To show a unit of measure. Suppose we went to market to purchase something, right? Suppose eggs. So how we get the eggs? By a dozen, right? So that is what, when we want some measurement, when we show a unit of measure, it may be dozen, it may be meter, it may be liter, maybe anything, any measurement. Okay, so with all the measurements, meter, liter, dozen, centimeter, something like that, so with that we have to use the, right? जिस भी चीज़ को हम बाज़ार में ख़रीदने जाते हैं और उसका मेज़रमेंट जब भी होता है मीटर्स में, लीटर्स में, सेंटीमीटर्स में, तो हम उस मेज़रमेंट के आगे भी वी यूज़ द. दिस इज़ द rule number 6. So before a noun to show a unit of measure. Eggs are sold by the dozen. Now what is the unit here? Dozen is unit. How many pieces are there in one dozen? 12, right? So what I have used here? The with that. Second thing, milk is sold by the liter, right? And liter is a unit of measurement. Every day you get the, you get milk, and what is that? How your milkman gives you with the liter, right? So that is what the measurement scale for milk is what? Liter. So what I have used here, liter is the measurement unit, and with that, before that I have used the. So these are 6 rules which we have done in this section, and please take the screenshot of this, note down in your notebook, and then we will do some more rules. We will try to complete uses of the today. Please take the screenshot. Now the next one, rule number 7 is, and here also we will learn uses of the. Before the directions and the common nouns that are unique, right? Like I am going towards the east. The sun rises from the east, right? So they name before the names of the directions. You will not do a, you will not do an. What you have to attach with that? That is the. And one more thing is written here. And the common nouns that are unique, like earth, moon, planets, right? So with that also we have to do the. So this is the rule number 7, where we learnt that the is used with names of the directions and the things which are unique. Next, rule number 8 says before certain common nouns. Before certain common nouns. For example, the cinema, wherever we are using these words, cinema, theatre, temple, the Gurdwara, like this we have to do. Before these names we have to attach the with that. So these words, these common nouns you have to remember. Next is question, rule number 9 is before a noun that has already mentioned. Okay, for example, I gave you one example earlier too of this, that I bought a book, the book was interesting, right? In the first sentence I used a book, but in the second sentence I used the with that particular book because that has been particular. So here, there I just gave that the example of particular noun here, but here I am telling if that same noun is being used in the same paragraph earlier too, we are talking about that same noun, okay, or it is being repeated once again. So with that, it may happen that according to the rules of determiners, it may take a and an with that, but afterwards when it is being repeated, so there it will take an the with that. Let's take one more example. I saw an old man. I saw an old man. In the second sentence, I will write down the old man was crossing the road. Okay, so what you noticed here, in the first sentence I have used an old man, but in the second sentence I have used the old man, because that old man is being repeated in second sentence. Okay, I am talking about the same old man, means it has been particular. Next rule, say some more examples. I bought a vase from the shop. Vase, V-A-S-E, that is vase, that is called flower pot. Okay, I bought a vase from the shop. Here I have used what? A vase. What I have used here? A vase. But in the second line, when I am using this once again, so here I have used the vase. So the vase is beautiful. So these are some of the points which you have to remind. Just take the screenshot, note down rule number 7, 8 and 9 in your notebook, and try to solve the exercises related to this. Now we will come to rule number 10, and here you will learn that before such phrases which specify a person or an object. For example, the first boy in the row, right? The last boy in the row. So here we will do what? The with that. The only baby. The only. So only when there is only baby, only girl, only boy. So there with that same phrase we have to use the with that. Next is the same dress. The same dress, or the same pen. So with that same dress, whether it is same and some noun, before that also you have to use the. Next one is the next person. So this I have already told, the last, the first, the next. Here you have to do the with that. Rule number 11 is very common and you know it very, this is for your revision only. Before the names of the seas and the oceans, before the names of the seas and the oceans, we have to use the. The Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, okay. Any name of the sea you may write down, but before that you have to write down the with that, right? The. But here one thing you have to keep in mind, like with the name of the rivers also, in water bodies when we are talking about, so that is what seas and oceans, and here I have done with the names of rivers also. So these are water bodies. Here with the names of seas and oceans you can use, and with name of the rivers also you can use the. I will add one more thing here, the canals also, like the Indira Gandhi canals helps a lot in the people of Rajasthan. Okay, so that is what I have told here when I am talking about the water bodies. I am talking about seas, oceans, canals, rivers. With that you have to use the. But if we talk about a lake, this is the exception of this. If we talk about a lake, I hope you understand what is lake. Like there are many lakes in Udaipur, right? Very famous lake in Dal, in Kashmir, that is Dal Lake. So we will not do the Dal Lake. It is what? Dal Lake, right? So before the names of the lakes we will not use the, but after that all the water bodies, seas, canals, oceans, with that we will use. In fact in rivers also they will take the before that, right? It's quite important. Next is rule number 12. Before the names of the holy books, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Guru Granth Sahib, the Gita, okay, with the holy books, whatever of any religion it is, with the names of the holy books, with the name of the epics, we will use the before that. Next is before the names of the trains, ships and aeroplanes also we will use the, right? Like the Rajdhani Express, the Shatabdi Express, that is what? Names of the trains. So we will not do Rajdhani Express, it is what? The Rajdhani Express, the Shatabdi Express. We will talk about ships, the Titanic. We will talk about many more are there. And if we'll talk about the aeroplanes, that is what the Indigo, the Indian Airlines, the Qatar Airlines, the Lufthansa Airlines, or it is only the Lufthansa. Okay, so before the names of the trains, ships and aeroplanes, we will use what? The before that as a determiner. Next is before the names of the rivers. This I have already discussed, that is the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Saraswati, the Kaveri, many are there. So with the name of the rivers you have to use, with the names of the oceans you have to use the, with the name of the lakes you will not use the, right? With the name of the canals you will do. Okay, so here when we are talking about water bodies, this is the exception, where with the name of the lakes you will not use the. Just quickly take the screenshot of this, and 4 to 5 more rules are there which we will cover today, and then we will do the topic ahead. Take the screenshot. Now next rule is before the names of the mountain ranges I am speaking, where the mountains are in a group, right? When we talk about like the Himalayas, the Alps, many are there which are in groups. So here before the names of the mountain ranges I am talking about, right? The Alps, the Himalayas, and you can get many more in your SST books. So when the mountain ranges are there, we have to add the with that. But one exception is there, but we will not use the before the individual mountain. Suppose we can say we are talking about Mount Everest, right? That is individual, that is not mountain range. So that is what? That is here we will not use the Mount Everest. It is Mount Everest only. We will not use a, we will not use an, we will not use the with that. When the mountain individually we are talking about, right? But you have to keep in mind when we are talking about mountain ranges, means the groups of mountains, there we have to use the. Next rule number 16 is before the names of the newspapers and the magazines, right? Like you people used to write down letter to editor. So there the common mistake is this: with the name of the newspaper, students do not write the with the, right? So you have to always keep in mind that before the name of the newspapers and before the name of the magazines you have to use the. For example, the Hindu, the Indian Express, the Times of India, the Tribune, and when we talk about magazines, it is the Reader Digest, many are there. So what you have to do, the names of the newspaper and with the name of the magazines you have to use the. Next rule number 17 is saying with the name of the groups of the countries when the names are plural. Here I am not talking about with the name of the countries you have to use the. We cannot say the China, the India, the Pakistan, the Australia. It is not like that. When the name of the country is in singular form, you will not use the with that. This is exception. But the rule is before the names of the countries which are clubbed together, before the names of the countries where the names of the countries are in plural form, like the Philippines, the West Indies, the United Kingdoms, right? So like that you have to do with the names of the countries where the groups, the countries are in groups, or the names of the countries are in plural form. So there you have to use the, but normal like India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, China, you will use only name of the country like India, Bhutan, Pakistan. It is not the India. Next is before the names of the important buildings. Here before starting this rule number 18, I want to tell you here, because we are talking about the countries, so let's talk about nationality too, because I have not written here that. If we are talking about nationality, right, the Indians, the people who are living in India, they are Indians. Who are living in China, Chinese, and living in Pakistan, Pakistanis. So that is what we are talking about. What here? Nationality. Before the names of nationality we have to use the, but before the names of the countries where India, Pakistan, Bhutan, where we will not use, right? But where we have to use the with the countries, where it is given in groups and the names are in plural forms, right? So some exceptions are also there. We will have one more video of the omission of the, right, because this topic is too long. Next is before the names of the important buildings. This, you know, this is very easy and you are doing since your junior class, you know, first, second class. So that is what the Taj Mahal, that is only one, right? Specific building, that is important building, the Taj Mahal, the Qutub Minar. Next rule number 19 is to indicate the whole family. Now what I am talking here, whole family. Suppose if I want to talk about all the members of my family, so I will do the Sharmas, right? So you must have seen the name plates also, okay, outside the houses, that the Sharmas, the Guptas, the Siddhus, something like that. So where I am talking about all the family members, there we will use the with that, clear, the Sharmas. Otherwise I cannot say the Neha Sharma, I cannot say the Sharma, right? Because when I am talking about only one person, we cannot use, but when we are talking about the whole family, we have to use the with that. Next rule number 20 and the last one for this is the with the name of the musical instruments. Means before the names of the musical instruments, we have to use the with that. The violin, the piano, the guitar, the dholak, the tabla, whatever, right? With the name of the musical instruments. So dear kids, this was all about the uses of the, and in next video we will meet with omission of the. Omission where means what? Where we will not use the. Some of the rules I have told you here also in the cases of exceptions, but we will do that also, omission of exception. Till then, take the screenshot, note down, learn these rules and try to solve the exercises given in your book. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy.